Welcome, beautiful soul. You've arrived in a moment carved out just for you. Let your shoulders soften. Let the breath become a little slower, a little deeper. There's no rush. There's nothing to do. Only this. Only you, right here. You're entering a space of deep reflection, a space beyond information, beyond the noise. This is a space of remembrance, a quiet unraveling, a sacred unfolding. And we begin in the mind, the beautiful, brilliant, burdened mind. Always seeking, always sorting, always reaching for the next conclusion, the next definition, the next right answer. But what happens when the answers stop working? When the mind, in its effort to understand, begins to trap us in a prison of certainty. This is the shadow of intolerance. It doesn't always look like hatred or cruelty. Sometimes it's subtle. A rolling of the eyes when someone thinks differently. A tightening of the chest when our beliefs are questioned. A quick dismissal of something unfamiliar. We become intolerant. Not just of others, but of ambiguity, of messiness, of emotion, of mystery. The mind wants order. It wants to know what is right and what is wrong, who is good and who is not, what is true and what is false. But life, it doesn't fit into boxes. So intolerance sets in like tension in the jaw. Hard to notice at first, but always shaping how we see the world. Sometimes it hides behind logic. Sometimes it sounds like confidence. But beneath it is fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of being vulnerable, fear of not knowing. And that fear often wears the mask of certainty. It looks like sharp opinions, a refusal to entertain another perspective, quick judgments, especially of ourselves. But beneath that mask is tenderness. A child who once felt confused or unsafe, who learned that knowing things was a way to survive, who decided that being right would be safer than being vulnerable. And so, we began to defend everything. Our thoughts, our perspectives, our very identity. We made enemies of mystery because mystery made us feel powerless. But what if it's not mystery that harms us? What if it's our resistance to it? What if the very thing that we've been avoiding is the path to our liberation? Let's pause here gently, and let's become aware of the places where we're still clinging to control, where we label things too quickly, where we tighten around truth. This is not about shame. This is about seeing clearly. This is about loosening the grip not with force, but with compassion. Imagine the mind like a tightly wound knot, and each breath is a soft hand slowly untying it. No rush, no pressure, just presence. This is the beginning of freedom, not through understanding everything, but through releasing the need to. Can you feel that? The mind doesn't have to be the enemy. It's simply tired. It's been trying to protect you for so long. Now it too is ready to rest, to be held by something deeper, something wiser, something kinder. Let the breath remind you, you are safe without the answer. You are the whole without the conclusion. You are enough, even in the great, silent unknown. And it is here, in the silence, that the truth begins to whisper. And now, you've loosened something within you. You can begin to listen more deeply, not with the ears, but with the soul. This part of the journey is about understanding, not the kind that lives in textbooks or theories, but the kind that lives in your chest, in the quiet space between reaction and response, in the warmth that flows when you truly see someone. There's a kind of listening that doesn't just hear words, it hears the why behind the words, the ache behind the anger, the trembling behind the pride, and the need behind the defense. This kind of listening begins when the mind softens, when we no longer need to win the conversation, when we stop preparing our rebuttal and simply sit with what is. You become a sacred listener, one who listens with their entire being, who allows others to be seen, not corrected, who makes space rather than statements, who breathes instead of interrupting. And you extend this same grace inward. You begin listening to yourself differently, not to judge your reactions, but to understand what's driving them, not to change how you feel, but to be present with it. The pain you've carried, the patterns you've repeated, the habits you've formed, all of them hold a reason, a message, a root. And when you listen, truly listen, that message rises up, and it no longer needs to scream. Listening becomes a form of love, and it says, I won't abandon this part of you. I won't rush this truth away. I will stay. And when we listen this way, the space inside us widens. And in that space, understanding blooms. You no longer rush to solve things. You don't need to fix what is broken, because sometimes nothing is broken. Something is simply becoming. You begin to notice things that you never did before. The small voice behind a friend's silence, the emotion beneath your own resistance, the deeper current in someone's story. And slowly, Compassion awakens in you, not because you tried to be a better person, but because you made space. You became a vessel, and in that vessel, grace began to flow. Breathe that in now. You are becoming a sanctuary, a space where truth can reveal itself without fear, where emotion can rise without judgment, where presence can sit quietly and do the healing. This is the art of understanding. It's not intellectual, but embodied. This is what changes the world, one soft breath at a time. Let yourself feel it now. The wisdom of listening, the warmth of understanding, the quiet, holy work of presence. You are not just hearing these words, you are becoming them. Now take a gentle breath and let it be released. You've come so far already. From the mind's tight grip into the open field of understanding. And now you're standing on the edge of something holy. This part of the journey is about forgiveness. Not the kind you force or perform, but the kind that simply arrives when you've made enough room inside your heart for truth to flow freely again. Forgiveness isn't an act. It's not a declaration or a favor. It's not even for the other person. It is a state of grace, a return to wholeness, a quiet surrender of the burden you've been carrying. Because holding on to pain, even when it feels justified, exacts a cost. It closes the heart. It freezes the breath. It binds us to the stories that no longer wish to be lived. But forgiveness, it's not weakness. It is the most powerful form of letting go. It says, I choose to be free, even if you never apologize, even if I never get the closure, even if the past can't be undone. I choose to live. And forgiveness isn't just for others. In truth, it begins with you. You are the one who deserves to be unchained. You are the one who deserves softness. You are the one who deserves to be met, not with judgment, but with tenderness. You've made mistakes. We all have. You've reacted from wounds. We all do. But your worth has never changed, not once. Forgiveness is the remembrance that nothing you've ever done can diminish the light you carry. And in this space, you are safe enough to let it all go. The resentment, the guilt, the shame, the silence. Let it melt now, like snow and sunlight. No pushing, just melting. This is not erasure. This is integration. This is compassion blooming in the soil of your humanness. And when forgiveness flows through you, you begin to see others differently too. You begin to see the child beneath the cruelty, the pain beneath the pride, the desperation beneath the distance. And you realize they were hurting too. You realize everyone is trying to come home in the only way they know how. Forgiveness opens the door to a kind of love that doesn't keep score, a love that holds everything without exception. Let this frequency fill you now. Let it dissolve the old edges. Let it return you to softness, to stillness, to freedom. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not too late. You are right on time. And you are not your past. You are the grace that survived it. And this is the radiance of forgiveness. This is who you truly are. And now, here you are, still, soft, whole. You've touched the edges of your mind. You've listened to the aching layers beneath your thoughts. You've allowed forgiveness to flow where silence once lived. And now it's time to embody what you've remembered, to live the frequency that has been stirring within you, not just in moments of stillness, but in the rhythm of your everyday life. Because it's one thing to hear these words, it's another to become them. To become the breath before the reaction, the softness beneath the boundary, the steadiness inside the storm. This is where the real integration begins. Not in isolation, but in interaction. In how you speak when you feel misunderstood. In how you pause when old habits call your name. And how you choose presence again and again when it would be easier to numb or run. You carry everything you've discovered within you. The awareness, the compassion, the forgiveness, all of it lives inside you now. So when you find yourself back in the pattern, back in the mind's tight grip, don't judge it. Don't shame yourself. Just breathe and remember this space. You don't have to be perfect. You only have to return. Return to the quiet, to the deeper current, to the home within you. Because that home never left. It's here, in every breath, in every choice to listen, to soften, to stay. And the world will feel this in you. They won't know what's changed, only that they feel safer around you, that your presence feels like a balm, and that your words seem to land in the heart. That's what happens when we live in what we've remembered. We become mirrors for others to remember too, without preaching, without proving, by simply being. So walk forward now with grace, not as someone who has all the answers, but as someone who has made peace with not needing them. Walk as someone who listens before they speak, forgives without needing to be asked, and chooses love even when fear feels louder. This is how healing ripples. This is how light spreads. This is how your presence becomes medicine. And when you forget, because you will, let it be gentle. Let it be a return, not a punishment. Let each breath you carry you home again. You are not becoming this. You are this. You always were. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. And everything you've experienced up until this point has contributed to bringing you here. It's contributed to who you are. And it's contributed to all of the remembering that you're currently doing. You're doing great. Keep going. Now, go live as the one who remembers. I love you.